Why, hello. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the Brothers' War. Today we have drafted a special concoction which I have titled Garbage Garbage. But is it actually garbage? That's what we're here to find out. Like the last draft, I drafted this on my own time. Didn't really plan on putting it up in front of a crowd, so I played one game by myself without you. I'm so sorry. And we won. I mean, of course we won, because otherwise why would I be here now? So we're 1-0 so far. What is this deck? It's black and it's green. And the point of this deck is to be a mill deck, and not the way that the makers of this set intended. Of course, there is a mill theme in the Brothers' War. There's a mill theme in black and green. But the mill theme is supposed to be you mill yourself and then you start digging around like a dirty little boy in the graveyard. And instead what we're trying to do is mill our opponent out with Millstone, the classic, 2 mana for an artifact. You pay 2, you tap it, target player mills 2 cards. And we also have Keening Stone, another retro artifact. 6 mana for an artifact, pay 5, tap. Target player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards in their graveyard. So between these two, I think we can mill them out. And so we drafted the rest of the deck to basically survive until that point. In the interest of that, we have an Obstinate Baloth, the 4 mana 4/4 that gains you 4 when it comes into play, 2 Skyfisher Spiders, 2 black-green for 3/3 reaches. When they come into play, you can sack a creature to destroy a non-land permanent. When it dies, you gain life for each creature card in your graveyard. Very good. We have our own classics like Goring Warplow. We have 3 copies of Boulder Branch Golem, the honey badger of this set. 7 mana for a 6/5. When it ETBs, you gain life equal to its power, but you can prototype it for 4 to make it a 3/3. So, as you can see, all of this is just for us to live, survive long enough to hopefully mill someone out. We won game 1. We did not win through the mill strategy, shockingly. Instead, we just played a couple of Skyfishers and beat them with card quality. There's a chance we can do that too, because we also have a rare Autonomous Assembler, 5 mana for you 4/5 vigilance, already decent rate, but you can pay 1 and tap it to put a 1/1 counter on target assembly worker. It is an assembly worker, so very threatening card. It can sit back on defense and then boost itself up every turn. We like that. We like that. Now, will we get any more wins now that I am actually recording? That's the question, isn't it? And the answer? You're just going to have to wait to find out. Okay. Now, as a sub-goal of this draft, I do want to mill someone out. I want that to be a thing that we eventually accomplish. Don't know if it's going to happen this game. We have Goring Warplow, great. Argothian Opportunist, this is a 3 mana 3/2, makes a Power Stone when it comes into play, that's fine too. A Skyfisher Spider, and a Deathbloom Ritualist. This is a 5 mana 3/5, taps to add X of any one color, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. This all seems a-okay. Start with Evolving Wilds into the pro move of cracking it on our turn. Opponent goes Plains. We drew a Boulder Branch Golem. I like that. We are going to prototype a Goring Warplow. That can trade off for something. It can be sacrificed to Skyfisher Spider. They're playing an Air Marshal. 2 mana 2/1 soldier. Pay 3 to give it flying until end of turn. I don't think we attack, because we would be happy if they spent their whole turn to give it flying. So instead we're just going to go for our Argothian Opportunist. You know what? Would we trade either one of these? I guess we would, wouldn't we? Let's go ahead and offer the trade with their Air Marshal. Yeah, they just take a damage. Figures. Absolutely figures. 20-19. Another white-blue soldiers deck. They're a dime a dozen. Veterans Power Blade. I do like that card. I do like it. We drew a Haywire Might, which we could use to kill the Power Blade, but do we even really care about that much? Not really. I think we're just attacking them. Yeah, they're taking it. So weirdly, we are the beatdown right now. And now we could Skyfisher Spider and kill their Air Marshal. Or we could Boulder Branch Golem and gain 3 life. I think we're Boulder Branching. We could also Death Bloom Ritualist. But it's just a 3/5 right now. That's actually... No, but we can't cast that because of Power Stones. Boy, one day we'll learn. One day we will learn. We can't Haywire Might this turn. And Boulder Branch. And that's kind of saucy. Yeah, I like that. So that's 23 to 15. They're really behind at the moment. If they spent their turn equipping Power Blade, we would be happy little campers, wouldn't we? Tapping 1 blue and then untapping it. What does it mean? And obviously at this point of the game there's all manner of things that they could do. They are equipping the Air Marshal and attacking with it. So they're just offering a straight up trade. I guess we just block with our Haywire Might. 4/1 and a 1/1. Okay, so they're using Supply Drop to give their Air Marshal +2/+2. So they win that combat. I mean, you got us, pal. What can I say? I mean, now we're just going to smack them for 7. It's 25 to 8. And we cast a Death Bloom Ritualist. I mean, on their turn, they're going to need something pretty saucy. Because we have the ability... I mean, 1, we could just attack them. And 2, we have a Skyfisher Spider to kill their best thing. They're casting Power Stone Engineer at 2/1 and Aeronaut's Wings. They're playing the garbage deck that we've played time and time again. God bless them for it. So I think we're going to cast our Skyfisher Spider and throw our Goring Warplow at their Air Marshal. And then attack them for a bunch of damage. Yeah, attack them for 6. They just eat it. It's kind of surprising. It's 25 to 2. What 2 cards could they have that will make a difference here? An Aeronaut Cavalry. It's another blocker. Now they have 1 mana available. I mean, surely that's game. We drew Obstinate Baloth, which is great, of course. We're just going to swing out, and that should do the job. It does indeed. Well, we're 2-0, having not done anything remotely mill-related. My just live long enough to mill them strategy is just turning into kill them very quickly. Who's going to complain about that? I am. That's who. I want to mill someone. And if we don't get to, I consider this a total failure. Game 3. Opponent goes first. We're 2-0. We've got 3 lands. Haywire Might, Argothian, Opportunist, Obstinate Baloth, Boulder Branch Golem. Just very decent card quality overall. We can keep this, no problem. Opponent goes Plains. We draw a Skyfisher Spider. This is all good. Opponent goes Forest Mine Worker. This is one of the Tron cards that doesn't really work. 2 mana 2/1. It can tap to gain you a life. If you have the other 2, you gain 3 life instead. I mean, whatever. Do we offer the trade? I don't think so. I think we just hold back. If they want to attack us, we'll happily trade off our might. They don't want to do it. Makes sense. We're going to sacrifice our Evolving Wilds. Get ourselves another swamp. Might pay for that in the future. Now do we attack? Because we have an Argothian Opportunist that we're going to be playing next. I think we just attack. Again, if they want to trade, they go nuts. Yeah, it's 2019. Player Opportunist. They gain a life. So it's still 20 to 20, but we have a 3/2 creature and a Power Stone in play. We drew Autonomous Assembler, which we can play this turn. So I wonder if we just attack this turn. Or do we go Skyfisher, Spider, sack the Haywire, might kill the Mine Worker? Or do we just cast a Boulder Branch Golem? I mean, all these things are so juicy. I guess we just start by attacking. I can see them trading. No trades. They have 4 mana and they haven't cast anything. So what do they have in hand? Could be a Disenchant, which would get our Autonomous Assembler pretty good. We could just Gruesome Realization, lose 2, draw 2 this turn. I kind of like that. I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I'm just worried about running out a 5-drop and they just kill it. Okay, we drew a land and a Deathbloom Ritualist. Very curious what they have going on over there. They have a Takacia's Onulet. It's the 4 mana that gains 4 and it leaves. It has Unearth. I mean, it's good for sure. So now we have 6 mana available to us. We can Deathbloom Ritualist, doesn't really do much. We can Autonomous Assembler, which I reckon is the best thing we could do at this point. There's the definite concern that they have a Disenchant, but we literally can't do anything about that. Should let that stop us from playing our good spells. If you just don't cast your good spells, then you are basically casting removal on yourself. They go for a Great Desert Prospector. 3/2, they make a couple of tapped Power Stones. Yeah, they could be getting ready to drop some big prototype cards on us. Certainly true. We could attack them with our Autonomous Assembler, and they could double block. It's not that good, is it? We could also just cast fully our Boulder Branch Golem. We could also just fully cast a Goring Warplow and hold up mana to level up our Assembler. And I think that's the winner. Goring Warplow. Pass the turn to them. And now we can start leveling up our guy. This is the best Mine Worker's ever been. It's gained them like 4 life this game. Is it actually a good card? I think it's kind of cool. In an aggressive format, a 2 mana 2/1 is already fine. They're casting a Static Net, presumably on Autonomous Assembler. I mean, the nice thing here is we just let that resolve, and then we use Haymire White to kill it, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. So we gain 2 life. We get our guy back. Kind of annoying, but really not that big a deal. And now we've got 8 total mana, so we can cast a big Boulder Branch Golem. Do we just attack with the Goring Warplow? I think we do. The best they can do is just trade with it, with their Takacia's Onulet, which is exactly what they're doing. I understand they're going to be gaining some more life with it. But you know what else gains life? Boulder Branch Golem, baby. You're gaining 3 life is cute. We're going to gain 6. And we end the turn. So far, just both sides, I'm just gaining a bunch of life. But pretty soon we're going to be swinging with a giant Boulder Branch Golem and Autonomous Assembler. They cast Steel Seraph. Okay. I was going to say good. This is very bad, obviously. It's a 6 mana 5/4. Beginning of combat on their turn. Creature of their choice gains Flying, Vigilance, or Lifelink until end of turn. It's very bad, obviously, but we're going to Skyfisher that thing. They use it to give an ability to itself. That's incorrect, because it can't do anything this turn. I think they're a little confused. Alright, whatever. Autonomous Assembler grows. Huzzah! Excelsior. Now it's our turn. It's our turn down here. And on our turn, we cast Skyfisher's Spider. We're going fishing for a Steel Seraph. I do want to sacrifice something. I want to kill Steel Seraph. Boy, oh boy. And then I want to attack my opponent with a 5/6 and a 6/5. Hooray! Go ahead and give our autonomous assembler another +1/+1 counter. 26 to 12. Oh yeah. Now, do we go for an Obstinate Baloth or a Deathbloom Ritualist? We go for an Obstinate Baloth. I guess there's the concern they could play the Silex card, but we're not going to play around a rare today. If they have it, they have it. They do not have it. They have a Boulder Branch Golem of their own. And a Power Stone Engineer. Now they are Hellbent. AKA no cards in hand. Ooh, the Blanchwood Prowler. One of my least favorite cards. Hooray. Okay, so if we attack them right now with our Autonomous Assembler, it can become a 7/8. In which case, it is going to get a couple things for us. So do we just attack with the Boulder Branch Golem? Or do we attack with everything? If we attack with everything, we're going to lose some stuff. Autonomous Assembler will 2-for-1. I think we just go to combat. And we just attack with the Boulder Branch. Yeah, that sounds right. They're double blocking it. Works for me. Kill their Prospector and their Engineer. And then resolve that. Play a Branchwood Prowler. Mills 3 of our cards. Do we want to land? No, thank you. And then cast a Deathbloom Ritualist, which can tap for 6 mana. I mean, that's cool and everything, but very unnecessary. Okay. Much depends on what our opponent draws. They've got that Takacia's Onulet hanging out in their graveyard. They don't do anything on their turn. Well, means we get to grow the Autonomous Assembler. Our turn. Gix's Crest. That's a draw right there. Let's go ahead and see what they're working with. A forest. Okay, so they have nothing. Great. So that means we get to attack freely? Yes, it does. That is exactly what we are going to do. We're looking to trade with our Blanchwood Prowler, and then block and kill our Obstinate Baloth, and then take a bunch of damage. So now it's 30-6. They played the land that we knew about. A Rust Goliath. That's actually not bad. 10/10 reach trample. So this means we have to spend a few turns leveling up our Autonomous Assembler. Rust Goliath is good. And then they play Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Less concerned about that. It's a 2/2 double striker. I mean, them getting more creatures is definitely good. Okay, go ahead and activate our Autonomous Assembler. Just now at 9/10. A Millstone we drew. That's actually not bad. Let's go ahead and cast that. Go ahead and activate that on them. Ooh, we milled a Boulder Branch Golem and a Tower Worker. That's some good mill right there. If we attack them this turn, they'll double block Rust Goliath and probably the Boulder Branch Golem on our Autonomous Assembler. I think we just keep passing. It's 30-6. There's no chance they can kill it. They play another Tower Worker. 1/3 reach, it taps for mana. It's fine. Our turn. Hooray! We draw a land. Let's go ahead and mill them for 2. We got an Argothian Sprite and a Burnished Heart. Those are both okay to get, I suppose. And then Let's pass the turn to them again. They're kind of getting to where they need to attack us, but attacking us is really bad. Yep, they're just passing. We drew another land. If we just keep holding these lands, we have 1,000,000 mana. Pass to them. We forgot to autonomous assemble last turn. Bad on us. Should be at 10-11 right now. They go for Foundry Inspector. We don't care. Mill them. Autonomous assemble. Got a Deadly Robust to another land. I mean, this is a little crazy. We'll play a land. And we just keep passing. Right now it's 12-12 on Library, 30-6 on Life. But, I mean, they're about to start losing this Library battle very quickly. Mill them for 2 more. Autonomous Assemble. A Scrapwork Cohort they just put into the graveyard. Meh, it's fine too. We drew a Power Stone Fracture. Finally drew something we can use. Don't want to right now, but it's a cool idea. They play another Foundry Inspector. Let's go ahead and prototype. Let's mill. Resolve all these things. They're on 7 cards. We drew a Rust Goliath. Love that. We have 10, 11, 12. We have enough mana to do everything we want. So let's go ahead and cast the Rust Goliath as a full 10-10. If they were possibly getting to where they could attack us, they can't now. And we'll pass the turn again. They're on 6 cards. And they surrender. I'm going to count that as a mill win. That counts as a mill win. They surrendered before we got there. They're on 6 cards. They were dead in the next 2 turns. Our creatures were holding them back, and we were going to win through mill through the full course of the game. That counts. That's a success. Let's go. We are now 3-0, and we are 1-0 on mill wins. Let's get it. Game number 4. The pressure is completely off at this point because we have achieved mill victory. We're 3-0. We could lose the next 3. That's kind of been the trend in this format so far. But if we did, life would be fine. We won through mill. That's great. We go first this game. We've got 3 lands. We've got a Millstone, a Goring Warplow, a Blanchwood Prowler, and a Skyfish Spider. And honestly, Skyfish Spider has been the total MVP. I mean, mill is great, and it's a meme, and I enjoy it and everything, but let's be real. We're winning because we cast at least 1 Skyfish Spider every game. Ooh, they threw a card away. Mulliganed. I would not advise doing that. We go Swamp, they go Forest, and nothing else. We drew a Dreams of Steel and Oil. Do we just do it? I say we do. So they're going to reveal their hand to us, and we choose an artifact or creature, and they discard it. Urza Powerstone Prodigy. I think that's it, because that's their best route to victory. That's their best way to get back into this game where they had to mulligan. Okay, they played 7th Steel Seeker. 1-2. When an artifact ETPs, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you reveal it, put it in your hand. If you don't, put it in your graveyard. It's all good. Do we go for a Goring Warplow or a Millstone? A Millstone. And honestly, their Steel Seeker could help us out. They go Combat Courier. That's an artifact. They draw an Evolving Wilds, which they play. Fool. Already that much closer to milling themselves out. Haven't drawn a Forest yet, which is disconcerting. But we're going to prototype a Goring Warplow, and we're going to mill them on the end of their turn. They're attacking us with the Combat Courier. That's fine. We accept the damage. They have an Epic Confrontation in hand. This is a fight card. Not very good against a Goring Warplow, but good against other things. And let's mill them. 2 lands. And there's a forest. So the question now is, do we run out Deathbloom Ritualist? Do we run out a Blanchwood Prowler? I think we go Prowler. Probably seems a little silly. It mills us some cards. We can choose to pick up a land or just make this a 2/2 creature. I kind of just want the land, to be honest. For our deck, a 1/1 and a 2/2 is like exactly the same thing. It's just another creature to pitch to Skyfisher Spider. So I'd rather just keep hitting land drops for the rest of my life. Okay, they're sacking Combat Courier to draw a card. Again, Fool. Just hastening their death to our Millstone. We have to get lands after all, because eventually we will want to cast and use a Keening Stone, should we ever draw it. They're unearthing the Combat Courier, triggering their Steel Seeker, so again, they're drawing a land. Their deck is even smaller now. They're on 26 cards in their library. They're attacking us for 1, of course, with the Courier. We don't care. Sacrificing it to draw another card. Haha. Casting an Elsewhere Flask, which also cantrips. They draw another card. They trigger Saren's Steel Seeker. I mean, this is very impressive, but there's a decent chance we will kill them by milling them, which I would love. Speaking of which, let's mill them for another 2. Got a Stalwart and a Shoot Down. Very happy to have that Shoot Down out of there. Our turn. Let's play the Swamp they already know about. Put a stop on their turn and just cast Deathbloom Ritualist, I suppose. Do we attack with the Warplow at this point? Honestly, no. We're not going to win this game with damage, I wouldn't imagine. I wonder if it was even worth to cast the Deathbloom Ritualist that turn, because we can't mill them this turn now. And every mill trigger is probably going to be important. We probably just should have... They're casting Weakstone Subjugation on our Deathbloom Ritualist. That's a mistake. I mean, they're worried about us casting some ridiculous thing, but we're just... we're just millstoning. Sorry to say it, friend. We have a Moment of Defiance and a Skyfisher Spider in hand. Both great cards. Let's just go ahead and pass to them and keep our millstone up. They're on 19 cards now. Casting an Energy Refractor. I mean, again, it's a sick engine. They're casting all these cantripping artifacts which draw a card, and then with the Saren's Steel Seeker, they draw extra cards. It's a great strategy, but every card they play mills them for 2 extra cards. They're at 17 now. And obviously the way this backfires for us is they dig, they find their ridiculous A+ bomb and just kill us with them. That's always a possibility. Hopefully our Skyfisher Spider that we're holding in hand is enough to save the day if it comes to that. Mill them. Milled a Rust Goliath from them, that feels good. Drew a Haywire Might, I like that. Go ahead and cast it. Just another dork. It'll gain us life eventually. We can use it to kill a troublesome artifact if they play one. They're on 14 cards in library. They are now very much in the danger zone. And every artifact they play is going to be milling them extra cards. They have 8 mana available. I mean, there's all kinds of nasty stuff they could do. They're casting Supply Drop. Main phase on their turn. Mills them an extra card through Saren's Steel Seeker. Are they going to use it to draw another card? I mean, I would love that. So it seems that they are now declining to use the Steel Seeker, which makes sense. I think they're starting to understand the precarious nature of their situation. Let's mill them again. Got a cloud key and a tower worker. Sure. We drew a land. We're going to keep playing them because, again, Keening Stone is a good draw for us eventually. They're activating supply drop. They're drawing more cards. They're on 11 cards in deck. They play Perimeter Patrol. 3-mana 3/3. When an artifact ETB is under their control, it gets +1/+0. Very unimpressive to me. You know what is impressive to me? Millstone. They're casting a static net. I think this is not going to work the way they hope. Let's see what they do with it. Just an Oblivion Ring. They're doing it on our Warplow. They're attacking us with the Steel Seeker. That's fine. We'll take a damage. They passed us. Do they not realize they're just going to die to this Millstone? They're on 7 cards in library now. I drew another land. Again, we'll keep playing them. I think we passed to them. Now, at some point, we'll be able to Haywire Might their Static Net, and we can just get our full 5/4 Warplow back into play. I just don't even know how much we care about that. I'd rather save the Haywire Might to... Okay, they cast a Rusgalath. Now, this is the kind of thing we actually need to kill eventually, so... that is good. Okay, go to attackers for them. They're attacking us for 5. That's fine. I'm going to say still no blocks for us, please. It's 11 to 22. Mill them. We cannot forget a mill trigger. Every single one counts. Ooh, we milled a Retrieval Agent and a Hulking Metamorph. Those were some good mills. Alright, our turn. And Evolving Wilds. Let's go ahead and crack it so I don't forget. Get ourselves a forest. Go ahead and cast a Skyfisher Spider. We will sacrifice our tapped down Deathbloom Ritualist. Kill a Rusgalath. Yummy, yummy. And then we pass the turn. Now they're on 3 cards. They cast Spotterthopter. So, this is a prototype card, but they're playing it for the full value. It's an 8-mana 4/5 flyer when an ETB scry X, where X is its power. So they're going to be able to arrange their remaining 3 cards in whatever order they like. 3 on top, 0 on bottom. Sure. They cast Epic Confrontation. So they're using their Perimeter Patrol to fight our Skyfisher Spider. Okay, Skyfisher Spider dies, and we get to gain 4 life off of it. So that's yummy. They attack us for 6. I see no problem with that. It's 9 to 22. They're on 3 cards in library. But we are going to mill them for 2 on our turn, and their turn, and then they're going to be dead. Drew a Boulder Branch Golem. But honestly, we're just going to mill them first. And then we'll cast our Golem just for the rub-ins. And they surrender. That's 2. That's 2 mill victories. 1 millstone, going the entire distance. I am shocked this deck is working twice now, the way it was intended, where we just stall the game, gain life, gum up the board, and then mill them to death. I am tickled pink right now. 4-0. Alright. Can we lose from here? I say yes. To think I was considering not recording this. This is already the best draft I've had in the Brothers War, and I would go so far as to say the sweetest draft I've done on MTG ASMR, regardless of how the remaining games go. We go first this game, though, and this looks okay. 2 mana 2 2-drops, Energy Refractor or Blanchwood Prowler, Gix's Crest on 3, and then Skyfisher on 4, and a Boulder Branch Golem. I mean, just looks solid. We'll lead off with a Swamp. They do nothing on turn 1. They just play a Forest. So, given that, we're probably just going to go Prowler. Because we didn't draw a land. And we milled 3 lands with that. So yeah, we're going to pick up a land with the Blanchwood Prowler. They cast Feltdawn, Ronom Excavator. This is a 2/2 haste, can't block, and when it dies, they get to exile some cards and they get to cast one of those cards. That's all fine by me. We drew a Keeningstone, the card I was talking about so long ago. It's going to attack them for 1 with our Prowler. Gix's Caress them. Titania's Command. We will be taking that, I believe. This is 6 mana, you choose 2, and the 2 you will choose are make 2 2/2 bear tokens and then put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control. Fuck that. If this deck is going to lose, that's the way it's going to happen. By the way, they also have another rare in the hand, which they just played, Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. I mean, their deck is looking quite nice, actually. At this point, I think we go for... Do we go for a Boulder Branch Golem, or do we go for a Power Stone Fracture killing Gwenna? I think it behooves us to kill Gwenna? Here's what I think I want to do. I think I want to Energy Refractor, draw a card. We drew a land, which is good. We get to play it. And then we can Power Stone Fracture, kill Gwenna, sacrifice our 1/1. That all seems fine. They cast a Perimeter Patrol, which we saw last game. They hit us for 2. It's 14-19. And you drew a Moment of Defiance, which could be good. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to cast a Boulder Branch Golem, prototyped. 4 mana, 3/3 gains us 3. And then we'll happily trade this if they let us. They might just fight it with an Epic Confrontation, though. They cast Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard, 2 mana, 3/3. Sacrifice it. Legendary creatures you control get +1/+1 indestructible. That's pretty good. They do indeed Epic Confrontation and kill our Boulder Branch Golem. So yeah, we're in a pretty bad spot right now. They're hitting us for 6 this turn. It's 11-19. They have 2 3/3s and a 2/2 in play. We drew our Gothian Opportunist. You know, that's fine. It's a blocker. It makes a Power Stone. We'll happily block any of their creatures this turn if they attack. They're casting Obstinate Baloth. It's all very good. It's all very good. So now what do we do? Probably just block Hajar. Yeah, I'm going to say block Hajar. We take damage, we go to 6. And now... Are we just dead? We're not quite just dead because we have enough mana to cast a Skyfisher Spider. This means we have to block Obstinate Baloth. I mean, we're pretty much dead on board right now. They can also prototype Blitz Automaton. Yeah, so we should just be dead. If they are wise, they will prototype that bad boy out. Oh, they have Gnarlroot Pallbearer giving something +2/+2. So we're dead about 3 or 4 different ways. We were probably dead if they did nothing, but they also had 2 extra cards that could have killed us. So, yeah, that was good. Good curve from them. We had a decent curve too, but not quite enough. 4-1. Is this it? Is this the legendary reverse sweep that we've seen so many times? Okay, opponent goes first. How is this hand? It's weird. 2 swamps, and all artifacts are black cards, so we can play it. Dreams of Steel and Oil on turn 1, Millstone turn 2, Goring Warplow, Powerstone Fracture, Keening Stone. I've seen worse. I'm keeping. Opponent goes Swamp Pass. Mistake, because now we go Swamp Dreams of Steel and Oil. And we can get rid of Junkyard Genius, Energy Refractor, or Pendragon Strongbow. People have said Junkyard Genius, this is the black-red uncommon, is one of the best cards, so fuck that. Their hand's pretty weak, actually. Okay. They play their 1 unknown Gixian Infiltrator. Fine by me. We could play Millstone, but we won't be able to activate it next turn anyway. So do we just cast our own Gixian Infiltrator? Yeah, probably. Yeah, suck it. If they attack, we snap block, of course. They don't know we're not aggressive. They cast Energy Refractor. Draw an extra card, and then a Gnawing Vermin. This is a 1-mana 1/1. When ETBs target player mills 2, they targeted us, unfortunately. I don't know why they did that. They should have done it to themselves. And then they didn't attack. Well, I mean, this is all A-okay by me. Just run out the Millstone. They're looking at that being like, well, that's a bad card. Little do they know it's our win condition. Here is the Pendragon Strongbow that we knew was coming. 3-mana 2/3. Pay 1, sack an artifact. It gets +1/+1 until end of turn and doesn't damage each opponent. Very good card. At this point, they could, next turn, they'll probably Powerstone Fracture, sack the Gnawing Vermin. No, they're just attacking with the Gnawing Vermin. Probably just take that, right? I'm more interested in holding that back as a potential blocker. Okay, so now we could Blanchwood Prowler, but that's no good either. I think we just hold up Millstone. The problem is, we could play the Blanchwood Prowler, sure, or the Goring Warplow, but that lets them have a sick turn where they sacrifice Gnawing... Yeah, okay, so now they're doing it. Where they sacrifice something. Okay, instead they sacrifice their Energy Refractor. Okay, this is all good. Let's go ahead and mill them. And we are taking some damage this turn. It's 13-20. I drew a swamp. If that had been a forest, things would have been looking quite good for us. Because we could have run out the Obstinate Baloth. We will get that eventually in the fullness of time. I think this turn we're just going to do a Blanchwood Prowler? Question mark? Yeah. Get ourselves a forest in hand and pass. They're casting a Blitz Automaton prototype. 3/2 haster. Yeah, it definitely sucks. Do we just block the Gnawing Vermin and take 8 damage? Yikes. I think that is what we do. Or we could block 3 damage and take 6. I mean, of course, neither sounds appealing. I think we block the Vermin. Just trade with it. 5-20, mill them again. Resolve that. Our turn. Now on our turn we can Obstinate Baloth. 4 mana 4/4, we gain 4. It's 9-20. Now their attacks don't look as good. They'll probably unearth a Mishra's Desk, enabling a Gixian Infiltrator attack? No, just casting another Pendragon Strongbow. Okay. I don't think they have... I guess they could attack this turn. Give up a creature so that they can then get in 5 damage. It's not the worst for them. They don't know what we have in hand. Like, if they do this and then we cast, you know, a Boulder Branch Golem or something, then they're going to be sad. Just full out attacking. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. This makes sense. They're activating a mana right now? To do what? Nothing. Okay, so they did not understand how that worked. Okay, well, now it's 4-20. Blaze it. And we can cast a Goring Warplow prototyped. We could Power Stone Fracture, but does that get us really anywhere? It prevents them from activating a Strongbow on their turn, which is good. So yeah, I think we're supposed to do that. I think we're supposed to kill their untapped Strongbow, sacrificing our Warplow, just to prevent the 1 extra damage. I mean, we're in a really bad spot, clearly. We need to draw Boulder Branch Golems, basically, which we have a lot of. We have 3 copies, so game is far from over. Well, we might be very close to being over. They activated Mishra's and just sacrificed it to look for cards. Milling 2 lands. We like that. I would have been much more scared if they had activated Pendragon Strongbow. They prototype a Goring Warplow. Okay. This all is making sense. They're attacking with both creatures. Do we block the 3-2 or the 2-3? The 2-3 represents more damage long term. I don't think it really matters which one we block. We'll block the 3-2, I guess. It blocks more damage right now, and it makes it so that next turn... no. That's not true. Because you don't have to tap the Pendragon, and it's not sorcery speed. Yeah, we'll just block the Pendragon. Puts us to 1. I mean, it's very bad, of course. We really want to draw the Boulder Branch. We did. I'll be a son of a gun. I mean, we have the problem of we don't have the mana to actually cast the full version. So now we have a dilemma. Do we just cast it for 4 mana to gain 3 life? I think the answer has to be yes. I mean, I'm very sad. If we could just cast it for the 7 mana version and gain 6, we'd be much happier, but there's just so much they could have in hand that will just kill us straight up, so basically have to do that. That's fine. You know what this does allow us to do? It allows us to mill them for 2. They cast another Pendragon Strongbow. How many have they cast? This is their 3rd one? It's a good deck. It's a very good deck. So right now they cast Ichor Wellspring. That's very good for them. Because right now, they have 3 artifacts in play. They could just use Pendragon to hit us in the head for 3. We're at 4. Are they passing the turn to us? Are they attacking us? They're attacking us with the Warplow. Huh. So do we block it this turn? If we block it, we lose our 3-3. On our turn, we could Skyfisher, throw the Boulder Branch at Strongbow. I think that's what we're supposed to do. So I think we're supposed to take this 1 damage. Weirdly enough. Let's go to damage. Mill them. It's 3-20 right now. They are going to be on 14 cards in deck. They just lost another Junkyard Genius and an Emergency Well. Their deck is disgustingly good. Drew Gix's Caress. I mean, it's interesting, but ultimately I don't think it's what we want to do. I think what we want to do is attack them with our Boulder Branch Golem. And they're like, what? They take 3. Smart. We get to Skyfisher Spider. They indeed activate their Pendragon to sack Ichor Wellspring. So we're going to take another damage. They're going to draw another card. It's 2 to 17. Sack the Golem to kill the Strongball. And then we put a stop on their turn and we pass. This is precarious. Just like before, our best draw is definitely another Boulder Branch. Just buys us so much time. Go to attackers. They're attacking with the Warplow again. At this point, I think we are going to block. If they go through with the attack, they're kind of hesitating. Yep, they're going for it. I think we have to block, even though they could have the thing that when it dies, it comes back into play. Yeah, we just don't have a choice. We just have to block. They don't have it. Okay, sweet. This does mean that we get to gain a bunch of life from the spider as well. Huge. It's 9 to 17. They play Mishra's Juggernaut. 5/3 trample. Yep, that's bad. A land and an Ashnod's Harvester. Okay, so their cards are all on the table now. They're on 10 cards in library. We need a good draw right now. A Rust Goliath. It's probably decent enough. Because this lets us... The thing is, I want to be able to cast something and activate Millstone. But we're so low on life. I think we just have to cast the Rust Goliath prototyped right now. Man, having another land would be sick right now, but... Oh well. They cast a Feldon. What is with these Feldons, man? Right now they're presenting as if they're going to swing out with all their creatures. That is what they're doing. They have no cards in hand, so I believe we're going to be taking 7 from the Juggernaut and Feldon, blocking the Ashnod's Harvester and the Blitz Automaton. We could kill the Feldon, but that will let them draw 3 cards, which they can cast this turn. That's tough. That's difficult. Yeah, I believe we block these 2 dorks and take 7. Going down to 2. So that's 2 to 17 now. Drew an Energy Refractor. It's not the worst. Gets us another look at a card. We drew Gruesome Realization, which is just the worst card we could have conceivably drawn. But it's a sorcery. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1. Doesn't help us with blocking. Or we could choose to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, in which case we just lose the game. So I think we're dead, because on their turn they get to unearth the Harvester and attack us with a 5/3 trample, a 2/2, and a 3/1. We only have 2 creatures back to block. They have 9 cards in their library. So I think what we have to do is just hope they don't go for the all-out attack. That's our only hope right now. And the way they've been playing, they're absolutely going to go for the all-out attack. They unearth the Harvester. Let's go to attacks. And they instantly swing out with all. GG. Man, so close. So many draws there that could have got us the game. Can we see what's left in our library? I mean, I guess we could look and figure it all out, but we had 2 more Boulder Branch Golems, which at that point would have been 7 mana, 6/5, gain 6, which would have been sweet. 2 more Skyfishers, which also would have been sweet. Kill one of their things, gain a bunch of life. 4 and 2, it's the way of it. Can we get to 5? Can we get to 5? Let's see. What do we think of this hand? I think it kind of sucks. We have 3 lands, a Gixian Infiltrator, which is not what this deck is doing, a Power Fracture, a Moment of Defiance, and a Deathbloom Ritualist. We have basically no real action. None of this stuff does what we really want. That's a mulligan. This hand, 3 lands, a Moment of Defiance, Obstinate Baloth, Autonomous Assembler, Boulder Branch Golem. I guess we keep that, and we ditch this Moment of Defiance. I mean, this definitely got some all-stars in it. Opponent goes Plains, and Amishra's Research Desk. Yeah. Not excited about this. This means a fast red-white deck, probably. Which is exactly what we don't want to play against right now with this hand. Yep, there's the mountain. Oh boy. Giant Cindermaw. Great card. 3 mana, 4/3 trample. Here we go. It also has players can't gain life, so our Obstinate Baloth gets shut off. That sucks. Opponent activates their Research Desk, exiles the top 2 cards, which means get a Deadly Riposte off of that, which kills tap creatures. Don't worry, we don't play creatures that tap. A Goring Warplow. Now that I like. That I'm a big fan of. A great example of a creature that we play that will not be tapping at any point during this game. So, they could well attack us again to push through 3 more damage, but they're going to lose their Cindermaw off of it. That would be fine with me. Instead, they use a Disenchant on our Goring Warplow. We go down to 12. My, oh my. So, at this point, we just play our Autonomous Assembler. They're probably sad they used their Disenchant on that. Now they'll have to use their second Disenchant in hand to kill our Autonomous Assembler. If they have that. They play a Yoshimedic. Okay. That's good. That means the beats have stopped for the moment. And we could cast an Obstinate Baloth, but doesn't gain us any life at this point. I think we just play an Energy Refractor for now, which we drew this turn. Draw another card, see what our options are. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Yes, please. What have they got? They have Urza's Silex, which is a Wrath of God style effect. Philology Chain Dancer, a 2/4 double strike thing. I think we just take that. Urza's Silex is 3 mana and then 4 to do. Each player chooses 6 lands that control destroy all other permanents. Activate only as a sorcery. I don't want to have to kill Urza's Silex, but I think I have to, because the only way we're going to win this game long term is by either milling them with Millstone or landing some giant things, i.e. golems and whatever. And Urza's Silex cancels both those things. I'm sure that's puzzling to them. Here we are getting beat down, and we just exiled their Silex. Well, no attacks in the turn. They play Chain Dancer, sure. Let's go ahead and grow our Autonomous Assembler, and then we'll take our turn. Evolving Wilds. Hooray! Activate it, get a forest. At this point, do we just have to play Obstinate Baloth even though it doesn't gain us life anymore? Probably. Loath as I am. Sometimes you just gotta play a 4/4, even though you'd love to gain some life from it. You have to keep in mind they have an Unleash Shell in hand. It's an instant speed 5 damage they could throw at something, so they're casting instead a Veteran's Power Blade, which they're going to put on what exactly? Nothing, because they're casting Swiftfoot Boots. So they're basically hellbent. They have a Unleash Shell in hand. And they're passing. I mean, this is the time where I would love to be milling them. But what can you do? Drew another land. Sucks. Now we have the mana available to cast a Boulder Branch Golem. But so what? that doesn't really mean anything because we don't gain any life. They can, on their turn, they can equip Veteran's Power Blade onto the Chain Dancer, making it a 4/4 double striker. Sucks. I think we just pass. So annoying. The Unleash Shell is going to really get us too. They are indeed equipping the Chain Dancer with the Power Blade. So now they can pay 2 to give it double strike. Here's the question. They attack with it. Do we block with the Autonomous Assembler? I think the answer has to be yes. We can't just give up Obstinate Baloth, and we can't take 8 damage. And they don't have the mana right now for Unleash Shell, so we can trade right now. We're making tough decisions right now. I think these are correct decisions, but... Okay, so we trade 1 for 1 there. Oh, we don't. They didn't activate the double strike. Oh, well, that's great for us. That's a huge punt from them. Now instead, they cast Constrict. Maybe they thought they had Unleash Shell? I don't know what they were thinking there. I think they thought they had Unleash Shell mana available. In which case, yes, that would have been great. And now they concede. Yes! Shame concede. Let's go. Yeah, so let's look at the battlefield and rewind that play a little bit. So they equipped the Power Blade using 1 mana onto their Philology Chain Dancer. 2/4. They can pay 2 to give it double strike. So now it's a 4/4 double strike. Well, 4/4. They can pay 2 to give it double strike. We block with our 6/7 Autonomous Assembler. They did not activate the double strike because I think they wanted to spend the 5 mana to hit Autonomous Assembler, which then they could have activated the double strike and got it. It was just hugely bungled by them. That game was nowhere near over, by the way. It was a very bad play from them, but I think they were still in a good position from where they were. Hey, we will not complain about that at all. And you know what that means? That means 5 wins, baby. That means this is a successful draft. Can't believe it. Garbage for the win. Well, we aren't done yet. We could get 2 more wins. We could get a loss. Who knows? You will in just a minute. Okay, playing for our lives still. Opponent goes first. Turn 2, Blanchwood Prowler into an eventual Skyfisher Spider, sacrificing the Prowler. An Obstinate Baloth to stabilize, and a Keening Stone for, turn a million. I mean, that's what we came here to do. Opponent goes Forest. Should we go Forest to meet him? No, let's give him a Swamp so they can wonder if we have the Disfigure. Opponent goes Mountain and our Gothian Sprite. Sure. We drew a Haywire Might. I mean, that would have been great last turn, but what can you do? I think we go for the Prowler. We had 2 lands. I think we're going to decline to pick them up. I'll just be happy to trade with this Sprite if they give me the chance. They go Strongbow. Yeah, I will definitely be trading if they give me the chance. They're not interested. That suits me just fine. Play a Haywire Might. No attacks. Next turn, we can sacrifice something to the Spider to kill one of their things. Probably the Strongbow. Yeah, it's my first time this draft really seeing Strongbow in action. Another Feldon. What is it with this guy? Yeah, we're going to snap off a block here with our Prowler. So now they draw 2 cards, a Prowler and a Mountain. And until the end of their next turn, they can cast it. Whatever, man. So I think now we go for... Do we go for Spider? Kill the Strongbow? Or do we just go for Obstinate Baloth? I think it's just Obstinate Baloth. No attacks for us. Because, yeah, that gains us 4 life. It's 24 to 20. They can't attack. And then, depending on what they do, they might play something even better for us to kill. They cast Arbalest Engineers. making a tapped Power Stone token. Very interesting. It's the mode I would have expected least. We drew a Death Bloom Ritualist, which taps for 2 mana at this point. Sure. It's also a 3/5. I mean, against red-green, just playing a 3/5 is pretty good. Do we want to attack with our Obstinate Baloth? No. Only kills one of their things. They play a Mishra's Juggernaut. Sure. Okay, so we could Skyfisher Spider this turn. We could Energy Refractor Keening Stone? Or we could just Keening Stone? I guess we just Keening Stone. Just hold up blockers. We just don't want to take damage, really. Kind of think they're just going to attack with the Juggernaut. That's what they do. Do we take a hit? Probably. No blocks, please. 19 to 20. And they pass. Love that. Gix's Caress. That's good. I guess we should start with that, huh? Yeah, Gix's Caress on them. What you got? Rust Goliath shoot down, raise to the ground. 2 ways to kill an artifact and a Rust Goliath, so they have something to kill our Keening Stone. So I guess we just kill the Rust Goliath. I mean, it's annoying for sure, but what you gonna do? Now we could Energy Refractor to draw a card, or we could just hold up a Keening Stone activation. I think we just hold up a Keening Stone activation. Or do we Skyfisher kill the Juggernaut? I think we Skyfisher kill the Juggernaut. We just can't keep taking 5 damage every turn. Kill the Juggernaut. Didn't even want to sacrifice it to Pendragon for some reason. We could attack this turn, but we just want to save our life total. No attacks, please. Oh, they already have the mana to start activating our Gothian Sprite. That sucks. So now it's a 4/4. What do we do if they attack with it this turn? We probably double block it? They're not going to, though. Okay, cool. Kinda like that, actually. Let's see, if we attack with our Obstinate Baloth, my guess is they'll block it with our Gothian. What if we just all-out attack? They can make it a 6/6 this turn, and then we can kill it with Moment of Defiance. That sounds fine. Let's attack with everything. Now they're like, huh? What? Double blocking Death Bloom Ritualist. Love it. Moment of Defiance on Death Bloom. Give it +2/+1. And lifelink, and we draw a card. Oh, why did I think that would kill the Sprite? Because it's a 6/6. Wow, that was disastrous. That was awful. I mean, it's 30 to 16, but their Sprite is going to get so out of control. Why did I do that? Let's Keening Stone them. When we milled a Heavyweight Demolisher. This is a comedy of errors. Now they can just unearth that giant Demolisher and, like, almost murder us right now. Or they can just keep leveling up their Sprite. They cast Raise to the Ground on our Keening Stone. Probably the worst thing they could have done, honestly. They are not dying to that this game. And they attack us down to 20. And that's it. That's kind of surprising, honestly. Let's Energy Refractor. Draw a card. A Boulder Branch Golem. Basically the best thing we could have drawn. We could attack them for 10 this turn. We're at 26. Yeah. Oh, we can't attack for 10. We can only attack for 4. That's fine. That's fine. So now they have to decide. Use their whole turn to our Gothian Sprite. Oh no, they just shoot down our thing. Yeah. And then cast Mishra Excavation Prodigy. Hit us for 12. It's 14 to 12. We drew a land. Sucks. How upset can we be? We drew the Golem, which was a great draw. I think we have to pass to them. I'm being a real trooper here by not conceding, because I don't see a way out, really. What are we hoping for exactly? We have to deal with this Argothian Sprite, and the only ways that we have to do that are things like sacrifice a creature. We only have one creature in play. So they're attacking with this Sprite. We're going to say no blocks. If they want to use their whole turn to add 2 counters, that's probably best case for us. 6 to 12. They cast a Haywire Might. We drew a land. Okay, now we can officially concede. There's no way for us to win. Okay, well, 5 wins. You know, the deck was called Garbage Garbage. It was not Garbage Garbage. It was actually pretty freaking sweet. We won in a couple different ways. Oftentimes we won by tempoing out and casting 1 or 2 Skyfisher Spiders and Autonomous Assembler. We won multiple games by activating Millstone over and over and over again. I will say this, Keening Stone was conceptually part of the mill strategy. We activated it one time in a game that we were assuredly going to lose, and we had it in our hand other times. So I would say even if you have a focused mill deck, Keening Stone is just a big fat trap that you should not fall into. If you can get multiple millstones, that's great. I say go for that. That's the way to do it. All right. Thank you for joining me. This was one of the sweetest drafts I've done on the pod so far, and if you want more sweet drafts, tune in next time and pray that it actually works out like this. I'll see you then. Good day.